hello again, and welcome to Roland's Reviews. I hope that you all had a wonderful week. And I from the video from last week, I am worn out and I am tired. I know I answered over 400 comments. So we were talking about the migrant crisis last week in Chicago. Well, how you doing, Reese? Everyone's coming into the comment section now. So you know how we do here on the Rollins Reviews YouTube channel. You just make your comments, and sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't agree. That's fine. That is not an issue. Just glad that we can all, people in my generation, and most of the people here on the channel are in my generation. It doesn't matter if we don't agree on everything. That's fine. We don't have to hate each other. So I don't know how many of you have been keeping up with this issue. It's only getting worse. Lola, Reese, Janice, everyone who's coming in prime time. If I missed you, charge it to my head, not my heart, because I really wanted to get into the information that I wanted to share with you. And so the migrant crisis. Now, I used to live in New York, and New York, you hear a lot of stories about New York, but New York, is very, very, usually very liberal. And for the most part, they didn't have problems. But I mean, that's all of us. You wouldn't have problems with something unless it's on your doorstep. And then you're like, okay, this is going to be a problem. So the migrant crisis in New York, of course, you have people coming from all over, and they haven't been vetted. That's an issue. You don't know if terrorists are coming. The borders are just open, and that's just a disaster. It is. And some people are coming, they say, for asylum due to poverty, political strife, lack of jobs in their home countries. So the crisis developed. If you remember, how you doing, Chef Finest One? If you remember, for when it first started, children were coming over unaccompanied by adults. And so I think that was a ruse they were using initially. Because remember, if you guys remember, because this has been going on for years, it's just, worse now. And so that's how it started. And I'm sure if you've been watching the news, you know that Texas Governor Greg Abbott, he started busing migrants to from the southern border to places like New York, Washington, Chicago. Hello, Jermaine, Lola, everyone. And so, but those cities were like, well, we'll take the migrants. Well, folks, if you're like me, you've been taught all your life it's okay to help people, but charity starts at home. That's my only issue with this topic. We have American veterans, we have elderly people, we have our own homeless people who aren't receiving resources. So my personal, and just you can tell me how you feel in the comment section. I personally feel those people who are citizens should be the first to receive those resources. Tell me what you think in the comment section. My partner, Chef Finest Wine, he's in the comment section. He's actually going to be my guest. He actually lives there in Chicago. He sees firsthand what's going on with this disaster. So some of you may know Eric Adams. He's the mayor of New York. Said they've had received an influx of over 110,000 asylum seekers. Hello, so they say. Now, if you remember when we talked about this from Chicago, and if you didn't see that video, go back and check it out. It has well over 1,000 views, and so this is a hot topic. And he was saying Venezuela. And I don't know, there may be other countries doing the same. They open their jails and they're telling people to run to the border. So we have no clue who these people are and the crimes that they committed in their own countries. And that's a scary thought, people. So Mayor Adams publicly criticized President Biden and Governor Kathy Hochul for failing to help with the crisis. But again, initially in the beginning, you said that you were willing to help. So if where was the help for New York residents and Americans who have been needed help for years? No one opened doors and abandoned schools and hospitals and uh, uh, airports. You didn't do that for American citizens. So that's why I'm a little bit perplexed. How you doing, Catherine, with friends? So Mayor Adams stated that the city's budget gap could grow to nearly $12 billion. That could cost the city over 3 years. I have an issue with that. Tell me what you think in the comment section, because folks, that's just not right. That is not right. And, that needs to be corrected. Mayor Adams said that New York is receiving no support for this national crisis. So again, you should not have taken on or said that, I will be a sanctuary city. If you're going to be a sanctuary city, why didn't you do that again for people who are American citizens? Where was the help for them? Where was help and for former veterans that have served in the armed forces? Of course, there was none. So that's my major issue with it. And Mayor Adams, now that things are out of control, he's upset that he can't get help from the federal government, and tensions are rising. So what's happening is, so the mayor may say one thing and the governor may say one thing, but these people, they're sprawling out. So they're there's nowhere for them to go. They're in the suburbs. The crime is rising. It's a mess. Hello, Rhonda. I don't know if you're familiar with. They've been having riots, basically little mini riots where people are protesting, and then fights are breaking out because people are complaining. I pay $10,000-$20,000 in taxes, and I walk out of my door, and there are people who are here on the streets. You have to step over people. And again, the crime is rising. Folks, I think New York, Philadelphia, Washington, Chicago, they have enough crime. They don't need any more help. Okay. So tell me what you think about that. So the tensions are rising, which I understand. Any of you who, own property, you don't want your property devalued. And that's an issue. Catherine said, I think my beloved mayor has bigger problems. Catherine says her mayor has bigger problems than that. Okay, yeah, he's having some issues. Okay, how you doing, Mo Dollars? And so what they're doing, I'll just give you one instance. Tensions were rising because in Queens over a shelter at the Creedmoor Psychiatric Center, which was a temporary shelter for asylum seekers. This was close to a nearby school. Some migrants are housed in old school buildings. So again, what about the homeless? New York already has a high homeless, population prior to the migrants coming. The Roosevelt Hotel is where the migrants are being processed as shelter for migrants. Police are making arrests of migrants that are breaking the law. And again, that's an issue. You don't know if you have their true names. A lot of them can't speak English. I was looking at some short videos from business owners, and they're upset because they're losing money. People are afraid to come to their business because there are people all over just on the streets. And some of these people are into nefarious activities. So far, there's been a little over, I think, 200 emergency shelters that have been open. Guys, please hit that like button for me. Share this video out on your various forms of social media so that YouTube will continue to share this out. If you enjoy this video, my partner said it's horrible. And like I said, he's experiencing that because he lives in a sanctuary city, Chicago. And so, like I said, he's going to be coming on here soon to tell us how horrible it is. All right. So with unvetted immigrants, you don't have a clue who they are. Countries aren't sending their best. They just aren't. Okay. Yes, there are some people who generally or genuinely want to come over here and work for a better life. But you have a lot of people, they're running from something. And we don't know what that something is. And that's an issue. So I was reading several have been arrested for assaulting officers, for assault, other crimes. So tell me what you think about that in the chat section, folks. So this isn't anti-immigrant, but it's pro-American. Okay. So, and I was reading a statistic, and I don't know if you're familiar with this. So once all these sanctuary cities started and all this illegal immigration really ramped up, we're looking at the crime statistics, and almost 2/3 of the federal arrests involve non-citizens. That's a lot, folks. So look at the resources that are being used for people who aren't even legal citizens. So several have been arrested for assaulting. People are talking about they're out there fighting, all kinds of nefarious activities. So we know initially the left advocated for being softer on prosecutors who were backed the Soros Fund. If you don't know who George Soros is, Google him, for sanctuary cities. And this was just a deadly combination. Again, if you don't know, who knows if terrorists are coming? I mean, the borders are just open. It's a mess. And we know how popular Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, state representative for New York, has been during her tenure in New York. Now she's experienced some issues. She was trying to speak at a gathering, and the protesters were protesting. They were heckling her, and she couldn't even say what she wanted to say. And these were anti-migrant protesters. And again, these aren't people who are migrants. They're seeing that their way of life is changing. And again, when you own property, that's a big deal. You don't want to see your property devalued. Hardworking people and that didn't sign up for this, but you have people in places of power who are making these decisions, and they're not having to deal with this. They're not having to lose money from their business. They're not having to step over these people who are all over the place. So New Yorkers are fed up, and the fights are breaking out at the protest. Gracie Mansion, several arrests were made during a protest. And Mayor Adams said, he initially said, oh, I can take, some migrants here at the mansion. Said he would welcome a few migrants, is what he said, at Gracie Mansion in Manhattan. So I don't know if you know this. He has started offering migrants plane tickets, a one-way plane ticket anywhere but New York. So again, folks, that's fine, but plane tickets aren't free. That's still being paid for. That money has to come from somewhere. And unfortunately, if you look at the people who have children in schools, and education is dear to my heart, okay, because I'm an educator, have been for 26 years. And because of the money they're spending on the migrants, the police departments they just have less money. They're going to have less than 30,000 officers because there's going to be a shortfall. And the Department of Education is being cut by $1 billion. Newsflash, folks, I keep up with statistics of education, in various states. Now I'm here in North Carolina, but if you look at the current state of public education in America as a whole, we can't afford that cut. The budget for police, libraries, schools, all of that's being slashed. So hospitals, parks, they're trying to house these migrants there, and then they're offering to set up, tent cities. So it's just a mess, folks. Tell me what you think. Not to be a Debbie Downer, but I did this video when I did the video last week on Chicago, and it just exploded. I said, well, that's Chicago. New York City is the largest city in our country, right? Just about. So I said, I have to do New York. I love New York. It's dear to my heart. I used to live in New York several years ago. And I only want the best for New York. Okay. So again, the police department numbers are below 30,000 for the first time since the 80s. I don't know about you. That's a scary proposition since the crime is rising uh, due to all of the migrants. And again, these large cities already had crime issues. They don't need any help. So tell me what you think. Vicky Council said educators are already funded. Exactly, Vicky. So you know how I am, especially when it comes to education. I don't want anything cut. The students are still trying to get caught up from everything they lost during the pandemic. And so you're cutting, all this money from the police, from the libraries, from education for what? So tell me what you think in the comment section, folks. Catherine said, I heard snacks they give them, they sell. Oh, yeah, Catherine, I heard about that. Yeah, some of the things that they're giving them, um, they turn around and sell them. Yeah, I did hear that. You're absolutely right. Reese said, personally, I think all immigration should stop altogether. Yes, take care of home first, right? Then let's reach out and help other people. That's my only problem with that. Uh, and America has enough problems. How you doing, Janice? We do not need to take on, um, this insurmountable issue that, and even the mayor of New York is saying there is no end. So we'll see. I can't wait until the next election to see how people vote. They're very angry, and let's see if they vote for change. Because folks, let's keep it 100. The people who make these decisions, they don't really affect them, not like they do us. How you doing, John? And so we have to, if I vote for you and put you in office and then you turn your back on me, well, I will remember that. I'm not voting for you again. Again, we've been talking about this for a while now. Uh, Keep up with the people that you vote for. See where they stand on the issues. Do they flip flop on an issue once they're in office? Well, then okay, you won't get my vote again. And that's just how I operate. And we're all different. Catherine said, I thought you sent them back. I know Florida mayor said they can't come here. Yes. So this is the problem, Catherine. The cities that say, oh yeah, we'll take them. Well, now you're upset that the federal government won't help you. You offered to become a sanctuary city. So sometimes what's that saying? Watch what you ask for because you might get it. And to me, that's a case of just just you're gonna have to suck it up. You can't get angry. You decided you wanted to be a sanctuary city. Now, did you check with your constituents? Because we know there's a lot of political posturing, right? People do things, and let's keep it 100. People aren't doing things out of the kindness of their hearts. They do things for votes. The Democrats do it and the Republicans do it. So um don't do something, don't make a major boo-boo, then get upset when the federal government won't help you. That's the same as the mayor in Baltimore when she let people destroy the city, and then she got mad. The federal government wouldn't help her rebuild it. So don't make dumb decisions. Golden Nova, me too. I want to see voter outcome. I also want to see when voters rise up and say enough is enough and hold the politicians accountable. Golden Nova, that's what it's all about. Holding them accountable for their actions. What's that? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So you'll get me one time. That's it. Okay. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. And I thank you so much for spending your very valuable time here with the Rollins Reviews YouTube channel. Like I said, I spoke to Chef Finest Wine earlier today. He's going to come in and be a guest so he can tell us firsthand, because he actually lives there in Chicago. Now, again, I'm in North Carolina. This is a Republican-led state. This is not a sanctuary place. So, I wish if I had time, I would fly to Chicago and New York. I'm just too busy. And but my partner, Chef Finest Wine, is going to give us a firsthand account, because we've talked extensively. He shared with me what he sees on a daily basis, and I can sit here and I can watch videos, I can read, and I can share information with you, but there's nothing like a firsthand account. And what did Reese said? It makes no sense. It does not. And John Pratt said, what about voter ID? So before it's time to vote, make sure you have everything together that you need. And folks, again, it's about priorities. Okay. People need to, people get what they want to get. So if you want to vote, you'll find a way to get an ID. You will. So it's about priorities. Me as an educator, I talk to other educators. Sometimes students will say, well, they don't have notebooks. Well, we'll look at them like, you have $1,000 phone. So you have $1,000 phone, $200 pair of sneakers, but you can't buy educational supplies. Those are the parents that we see sometimes in the free line to get free handouts. So it's priorities, folks. That's what it is. And we don't like to hear that, but that's what it is. So tell me what you think in the comment section. If you enjoy this channel, right, Reese? Me and my educator friends, we talk on a daily basis, and I sit back and observe. And obviously, I've seen a lot in 26 years, and it's astounding when you look at the priorities that people place on things versus education. Then these are the same people that sit back and talk trash about the educational system. You're not contributing to the educational system. So thank you, Janice. And so again, when I sit back and observe, situations, and again, over a 26-year career, I've seen a lot. And if I see people, I see students, I talk again to my fellow educators about this. We ask parents to bring students to the school early so we can do some tutoring. These are the students who are behind. They won't do it. You'll see them at the school. They'll drop them off at 5 a.m. for basketball practice. I have a major problem with that. Again, priorities. These are the same people who are out here protesting all the time, complaining about how horrible things are. You're not adding to it. Matter of fact, you're detrimental. So sometimes, folks, we have to look at the hard, cold facts of a situation. And that's what I've done here. And, all I can say is I wanted to share that with you. And I hope it's been informative. And please hit that little thumb, guys, that little like button for me, and share this on your various forms of social media. And don't think that I take you coming to the channel lightly. I do not. I really appreciate that. The channel is really, really growing. I could not keep up. I did my best trying to keep up with all the comments last week. So if you weren't here last week, go back and check out the video. Oh my God. It has well over 11,000 views in the video before that. So again, I'm going to talk about the topics that are relevant and that are trending. And so that's why we're continuing to discuss these issues. Okay. So I'm going to let you go. It's Sunday. Some of you, like me, have to get ready for work tomorrow. I hope that everyone has an enjoyable Thanksgiving, a safe Thanksgiving. And I hope to see you all here again next Sunday, 4:00 p.m. at the Rollers Reviews YouTube channel.